my name is Hido and welcome to the Pantheon, where today we're in Kaldheim. It's a bit cold, a bit nippy. Get your jumper on. Without further ado, let's have a look at Arnold Schwarzenegger. Oh wait, no, sorry, it's Arni Brokenbrow. 3 mana for a 3/3 with haste, and he's a human berserker. And he has the boast ability, which means when you attack, you can activate this. Pay 1 generic, you may change Arni Brokenbrow's base power to 1+ the greatest power among other creatures you control until end of turn. Pretty damn cool. We can end up with a massive beater, and all in mono red, which does sort of hinder the deck slightly, I'm not going to lie. Having access to other colours, you know, if it was green, you could have a bunch of massive creatures, but we're in mono red, so we got to adapt and change a little bit. If you like these videos, please do consider subscribing. Going to be making one of these for every single legendary creature. And dear God, there's a lot of them. But come along and join me. Without further ado, let's have a look at number 5. And at number 5, we have Wrecking Ogre. 5 mana for a 3/3 with double strike. But the main reason we want to play it is Blood Rush. For 5 mana, discard it from your hand. Target attacking creature gets +3/+3 and gains double strike until end of turn. Now, when we're buffing up our creature to, you know, ludicrous levels, say it's a 10/10, giving it double strike and an extra +3/+3, that's 26 damage that's going to be raining in there. Absolutely fantastic. And Blood Rush is a really cool mechanic that doesn't see enough play, I feel, you know. It's a nice versatile mechanic. You could just play this as a 5 mana 3/3 with double strike and then maybe pump that up. But hey ho. We've got a big double strikey dude, so why don't we double strike in another couple of ways? Fire Shrieker, 3 mana for an equipment. Equipped creature has double strike, equipped for 2 mana. So again, this worked excellent with Arni. Doubles every amount of damage that he's doing, which also is same for Temur Battle Rage. 2 mana for an instant, target creature gains double strike until end of turn. However, if you have Ferocious, this creature also gains Trample if you control a creature with power 4 or greater. So we can charge in and deal tons of damage, and the fact that it gives Trample allows us to get through even if our commander is blocked. Then Embercleave, the mythic version of Temur Battle Rage, 6 mana for legendary artifact equipment. It has Flash, so you can cast at instant speed. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each attacking creature you control. When it's the battlefield, attach it to target creature you control. Crit creature gets +1/+1 and has double strike and trample. So again, bumps up our commander, and double strike is just fantastic. And the trample is just the gravy on top of it. Which takes me on to number 4. And at number 4, we're looking at Savage Beating. Another double strike sort of card, but the main thing we're talking about is extra combat steps. 5 mana for an instant. Play it only during your turn and only during combat. Choose 1. Creatures your opponents control gain double strike. No, not your opponents. Creatures you control gain double strike until end of turn. Or untap all creatures you control, and after this phase, there is additional combat phase. And you can entwine it for 2 mana. So obviously we just talked about the double strike, but the extra combat step, absolutely fantastic with this commander. We want to hit in big, and being able to like boast it on the first of combat and then swing in again with that absolutely massive yokes up dude works fantastically. To go along with this, we got Port Razor, 5 mana for a 4/4 Orc Pirate. When it deals combat damage to a player, untap each creature you control. After this combat phase, there is additional combat phase. It can't attack a player that has already attacked this turn. So in Commander, potentially, you could have 3 extra combat steps, you know, just go around the table. Absolutely fantastic. Then we've got Morag, Fury of Akum. 6 mana for a 6/6. Each creature you control gets +1/+0 for each time it has attacked this turn. So that does stack. So if we're having multiple combat steps, they get bigger and bigger and bigger, which works really well with our commander. The main thing here is landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, if it's during your main phase, there's an additional combat phase after this phase. At the beginning of the combat, untap all creatures you control. Absolutely fantastic. Really gets in for a ton of damage. Then Seize the Day is a localized version of this. We are really concentrating on our commander, so this is a great card. 4 mana for a sorcery, untap target creature. After this main phase, there is an additional combat phase followed by an additional main phase. And then you can flash it back for 3 mana. Really good, cost effective, gets you a ton of damage in, and really works well with our commander. Then, while we've pumped up our commander, why don't we sacrifice it after combat? Because it's going to be pumped up, it's going to be massive. Let's use that to our advantage. Heart Piercer Manticore, 4 mana for a 4/3. When it enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice another creature. When you do, it deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. So that could be our opponent or just a creature that's in our way. Then it has Embalm, which means for 6 mana, you can exile it from your graveyard to bring it in as a token. Then Kazul's Fury, which is a land on the other side that just taps for a red and tapped. 3 mana for an instant. As additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice a creature. Deals damage equal to sacrifice creature's power to any target. And then the classic Fling. 2 mana for an instant. As additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice a creature. It deals damage equal to sacrifice creature's power to any target. So absolutely fantastic. After combat, we can just sacrifice our commander, boom, deal tons of damage, and he has haste, so we can recast him the next turn and just get in again. So, bringing us on to number 3, is big creatures, because obviously we want to be able to have big creatures on the field to use with our commander to make him absolutely massive. And Malignus is one of the best. 5 mana for a Star. The Star is the power and toughness, each equal to half the highest life total among your opponents rounded up. Damage that will be dealt by Malignus can't be prevented. So, say our commanders our opponents are on 40. Well, this is going to be a 20/20. For a single generic mana, our commander's going to be a 21/3. With haste swinging in for tons of damage. And then Malignus can follow up with absolutely tons of damage as well. Then, why don't we have some other big creatures? Phyrexian Process, 4 mana for an artifact. When it enters the battlefield, you may pay any amount of life. So, I don't know, let's pay 30 life. Pay 4, tap it, put an XX black minion creature token on the battlefield, where X is life paid when it enters the battlefield. So, with this, for 4 mana each turn, we could make a 30/30. Which in itself is pretty magnificent. Then if we're paying some life, why don't we pay it for Molten Steel Dragon? 6 mana, but you could pay 4 life instead of the 2 red. For a flying 4/4, you could pay a red or 2 life to give it +1 so until end of turn. So we can pump this up with tons of life, go to combat, pay a mana. Our commander's absolutely enormous. Then Hamlet Back Goliath, 7 mana for 6/6. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you may put X/1/1 counters on Hamlet Back Goliath, where X is that creature's power. Now, this works on our opponent's creatures, so just by having this sit here, it's going to grow and grow and grow and just become absolutely massive. Then, if we've got a bunch of large creatures, Alana Kessig Trapper is a really cool card. 5 mana for a 4/3 with First Strike. You can tap it to add an amount of red equal to the greatest power among creatures you control that enter the battlefield this turn. So any of these, when they enter the battlefield, if we have Alana on the field, we're just going to make an absolute killing on mana. Malignus could get us 10 mana. Each turn, 20 mana, sorry, Malignus. Each turn, if we paid 42 life into the processor, this can make us 42 mana each turn. I mean, we'd probably be dead, but hey-ho. Traxos, Scourge of Krug, is another nice, cheap, big creature. 4 mana for a 7/7 with Trample. When it enters the battlefield, tapped and doesn't untap during your untap step. Whenever you cast a historic spell, untap it. So our commander is historic, so if you play this first, cast our commander, it'll untap, then we can swing in and make our commander an 8/3, which is pretty good. Then Crater Elemental is a nice modal spell, which is weird to think about because it's an elemental, but I really like it. 3 mana for a 0/6, and you can pay a red and tap it and sacrifice it. It deals 4 damage to target creature. Then Formidable. 3 mana. If it, you can make it have 8 base power until end of turn. Activate this ability only if creatures that have total power 8 or greater, which with our commander isn't that big of an issue. So with this on the field, we can make our commander into a 9/3, and if you're not attacking with it early game, it's always there as a threat to your opponents. They're not going to want to play out their commander when for just a single red you can deal 4 damage to it and kill it, which is pretty good. Which takes me on to number 2, and at number 2, we've got Access Tunnel and ways to make our commander unblockable and get him in to deal all that commander damage. It's a land, it taps for a colours, pay 3, tap it. Target creature with power 3 or less can't be blocked this turn. So we activate this when we attack, use this straight away, and then we can pay the mana to give him an absolutely massive amount of power after he's attacked. To go along with this, Manifold Key, we're playing red, we're going to be playing a good number of artifacts. Really cool interaction here. 1 mana, you can pay 1 and tap it, untapping the target artifact. So if you have an artifact that taps for, say, 8 mana, you can untap it and reuse it again. Or you can pay 3 and tap it. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. So just allows us to get in with our commander. Then Key to the City, a nice bit of card advantage. 2 mana for an artifact. You can tap to discard a card. Up to 1 target creature can't be blocked this turn. So excellent with our commander. We can use it straight away. Get him in there. Whenever it becomes untapped, you may pay 2. If you do, draw a card. So again, well, not really card advantage, sorry. It just helps you filter through your deck and get to the cards that you want. Then Rogue's Passage. Land, taps for a colorless, pay 4, tap it. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. Absolutely simple, works exceptionally well. The art, look how mysterious it is. Our commander, he's a big beefy dude, so he's not that mysterious, but he can sort of slip into the shadows. Then that brings me on to number 1. And at number 1, we've got Grafted Exoskeleton. Now, getting our commander to be a 21-3, so, you know, kill an opponent straight away with commander damage, that's pretty difficult, to be honest. But giving him Infect, he only has to deal 10 damage. So 4 mana for an equipment. 2 mana to equip. Quick creature gets Super Suit and has Infect. So we only need to deal 10 damage to kill our opponent. And whenever it becomes unattached from a permanent, sacrifice that permanent. Not that big of an issue. We want to be one-shotting people. But if we've given our commander Infect, or he's absolutely massive, all of these cards work exceptionally well with it. Chandra's Ignition is a 5 mana sorcery. Target creature control deals damage equal to its power to each other creature and each opponent. So if our commander is a 10-10, 10 damage to everything. Just absolutely wipe it out. All of our opponents taking 10. Everything will fall over. Then we've got Soul's Fire. 3 mana for an instant. Target creature control deals damage equal to its power to any target. Now this is a better version of Fling because we don't have to sacrifice our commander. Wonderful, wonderful card. Can absolutely just devastate someone. Say our commander's 31, 33. It will just absolutely wipe someone off the face of the earth. And Burning Anger is an aura version of this. 5 mana for an aura. Enchant creature. Enchant creature has tap. This creature deals damage equal to its power to any target. So it's reusable. We can just keep killing in. Although admittedly we do need to give him vigilance or something like that. But we can put it on one of our other big creatures and just keep doming people for tons of damage. And those are my top 5 cards for Arni. You know, the Terminator is back. You know, how funny. Thank you very much for watching. Quite a cool deck. If you like this, please subscribe, comment and like. Makes me feel really nice inside and happy. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.